ムやる時間決める僕たちは約束守る
約束を守って楽しいゲームがいつもより楽しくなるよ
TGS 2023 Fan Meetup. Don't say it's after the festival. Tokyo Game Show 2023. This is the last official program. I'm honored to be the MC. My name is Shohei Taguchi. Thank you for having me. And we also have our official supporter, TGS 2023, Lisa Unai, who called the title. So I'm the official supporter for TGS 2023, TBS announcer Lisa Unai. Thank you for having me this time. Thank you very much. And then we also have Taiyo Tanabe, the director of the TGS Secretariat from Nikkei BP. My name is Tanabe from Nikkei BP. Did you enjoy Tokyo Game Show? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Don't worry. So I hope that you enjoyed the last 4 days, and this is the last program. Please stay with us till the end. And everyone worked so hard. Yes, I can feel that you are exhausted. Not just that. I feel like this is the night of the Friday night, you know. It feels like a Friday night, and then but you also have to clean everything up. Well, don't say it. So let me introduce the guests. We have invited a lot of guests, and let's look back on this year's Tokyo Game Show. And there is some announcement from Tanabe-san first. Yes, just one announcement from me. We received some feedback from everyone, from the visitors, that the first day it was very hot at the venue, so the temperature and also the humidity, and as we mentioned in the opening, we have the largest number of booths this year. The energy, the heat from each booth, and the number of visitors, they've all exceeded our assumption. So we were running behind in terms of the heat measures. So I'm very sorry to have caused uncomfortable experience for our visitors. But from the second day onward, we were able to strike some measures. So maybe it's still not comfortable enough, but I believe it was better after we have taken some measures. Truly sorry. The air conditioner was working, right? It was functioning, yes, but the number of people, it was beyond our assumption. And the first day, yeah, it was indeed hot. Yes, I was sweating a lot, but more than that, it's the first time in 4 years in the Makuhari venue. So it's the excitement is more than that. I just wanted to go to the next booth one after another. I was so excited, so that energy was really pushing me to go around furthermore. And then this today, yeah, the temperature is cooling down. Today is very comfortable, and the first day was very hot. The humidity was about 80%. And yes, the AC, the air conditioner was not enough to overcome that heat. So a lot of people experienced heat on the first day. We're sorry for that, but we were able to improve the situation for the second day, and I think we were able to end the event successfully. And Unai-san, you said that you enjoyed very much from the first day. And how did you walk around the venue? Did you try the games and did a lot of shopping? Yes, exactly. So as the official supporter, the benefit of being an official supporter is that I don't have to wait in a queue to try the games, I played like 10 titles of different games. Which one was the most memorable for you? Well, I tried the latest titles from each game company. I was very much looking forward to, and there were a lot of game titles that I didn't know. So if you ask me to choose one from it, actually I tried VR for Resident Evil RE4, and I love Resident Evil so much, and I was able to use the gun to do headshots in the VR room, and you have to shoot after cocking, so it was very difficult, and then it was very valuable for me to experience that in through VR. And then, so let's dive into more details. Unai-san, there are some pictures of you in the venue. Yes, so we did a lot of shooting. Thank you very much for that. Yes, and I was also able to play Sephiroth. Oh, yeah, I couldn't do that, but you can play Sephiroth. That's incredible. Yeah, now, it used to be an enemy, but now it's a playable character. So that's really incredible. And also Tenkate, and in the Tekken booth, you also went there, right? Yes. There was a simple system where you can strike powerful attacks with one button. So even I could do a lot of powerful attack. And with the Street Fighter 6 last year, it has become quite popular. So it's really exciting to see the development of Tekken in the future. And also, only for 15 minutes, I was able to enjoy the merchandise. So yeah, and you sound like a housewife. And look at you when you were shopping. You look like a housewife. Yes, I was so serious. I didn't look like I was enjoying it. Yeah, I was thinking that you would be very enjoying it, because it's like a battle. There's such a short time. I have to decide in such a short time period what to buy. Yes, got to see your serious faces. So that's how you enjoyed the TGS, and that is clearly shown through these photos. And we also had this year influencer entries this year. Yes, we had invited influencers on the first day. So usually they come to the venue, they come to the events through on the public days, but this time we have invited them on the first day. We try to expand the visitors base, including the business people, press, and also influencers. We are trying to expand that base, that foundation, and we also tried new initiatives. And we believe that the influencers also enjoy the event. And when you look at SNS, you see those influencers that are in the booth, are playing the games. That's a fresh experience. And also personally, the cosplay, I strongly felt the power of cosplay. Did you see it? Yes, Capcom booth. When I went there, the Resident Evil the Chainsaw Man, as you know, it was very scary to see him in real life. Yes, I saw you taking a picture. Yeah, and then he also lifted the chainsaw for me to take a picture. And did you check out the cosplay area? Yes, I did. Like Enako-san, with whom I work together with, and at the photo session, there are photo sessions, and the energy of the customers increased substantially. And at each exhibitor's booth, there are cosplay players. Usually, yeah, we had that last year as well. And for the general public cosplay, actually, we we prohibited that until last year because we couldn't secure areas for cosplay. That's why people couldn't have cosplay last year. But this year we have made a space for cosplay. So the cosplay fans and then fans who want to take pictures, many of them came to the event, and hall number 9 is where the cosplay area is, and it was so popular. As you can see in the events in big site, usually the cosplay is one of the highlights, and the game show focuses on games, and it's very fun to see the cosplayers walking in the venue as if they are going to like hunt monsters, for example, and that's very unique to game shows. So I'd like to continue to have this section next year as well. And for now, we are going to invite our guests from Game Media and TGS 2023 from game media point of view. So we'd like to hear a lot of comments from our media people. Not just us. The media people, they cover more of this event, and we have Kazuhiko Hayashi, the representative of Famitsu Group, Kadokawa Game Link, and Miyokawa Tadashi, the chief editor of Famitsu.com, and Daniel Robson, chief editor of IGN Japan. Welcome to the stage. And please introduce yourself briefly. Hayashi-san, please. And I am Hayashi, representative of Famitsu Group. And I'm very happy to see that this event is going to close successfully. And Miyokawa-san, yes, I'm the chief editor of Famitsu.com. I'm very knackered. Yeah, that happens every year. Daniel, please. Yes, the chief editor of IGN Japan. My name is Daniel. So, like 30 hours of broadcasting have been achieved over the past 4 days, and I'm really tired. Thank you. All right, so we'd like to ask about your comments, your thoughts on this year's game show from the point of view of the three of you. So in terms of the trend, did you discover any trend in TGS 2023? So not necessarily an obvious trend, but in the Hall 8 last year, in Makuhari, it wasn't a full-fledged offline event, and this year has become a full-fledged one. And so you have all the game makers here gathered 100%. And the heat, the energy over the weekend was incredible. And maybe it's even beyond the pre-COVID period. That's what I felt from this year's game show. And I was talking to Miyokawa-san earlier. We also this game show also evolved according to the development of time, like hotspot. I think there is an evolvement. There's a revolution here, and the TGS in recent years. There's a hotspot is a regular trend, and usually it's a live action. And as Uine-san said that Resident Evil and Street Fighter, as you can see in those examples, and the bottom, there's a panda, and the Jing and the Xiaoyu are near that booth. So not cosplays, not just being cosplays like they are doing live actions, like they are being there as if they exist in real life. So that people will post on TikTok, not just photos, people will also shoot films. And I think that's the change from the past. And Daniel, what do you think? Of course, this venue has expanded, and then there's a space for overseas exhibitors, and therefore many game makers can participate, from major companies to indies, game creators. And personally, I was very happy to see what's new this year is the people, the visitors are under age 18. Last year there was a lot of restrictions, and only adults could enjoy last year. But this year, people can enjoy with family. So this is a game show, and I think that's very important. It's very important for a family to be able to come and enjoy together, to try different kinds of games. and also to develop new interest among the family, to discover new interest among the family. That's very important, and that will lead to the future of the game industry. And I'm very happy to see that revived this year. Indeed, that's a big part of it, and we will talk about the family park. In terms of the booth, you can hear children's voices in every corner of the venue, asking their parents, "What's this? What's that?" The game is also for the children, for their future. I have made a vow that when I have a family, when I have kids, I will bring my family to the game show together. So I think it's great to have this place for family as well. Yeah, as you said, games are not only for the grown-ups. It's for a wider range of generations, and we want the people to fall in love with games, starting with the game show. So I think the game show has made a comeback in a really great sense. And the most impressive thing, what's the most impressive thing, the most memorable thing over the past 4 days from the point of view of the media? So one of the memorable things that I had was I was in that stage, a D3 publisher program. There's a game called Eto Zero. So they were talking about why Eto Zero was so non-popular, and Bandai Namco and Hanada-san and myself and another guest, so we had a discussion publicly, and Hayashi-san, you said that the game was not known. Yes, I made that blunt comment. So this republisher showed the breakdown of the sales in Japan and the Western countries. That was a very raw information. And during that publicly, I was really impressed by this republisher. And then we also made an article about that. And a lot of people read that article. So I hope that we were being hopeful. And I was also nervous a little bit. It was a very exciting stimulus stage for me that left a strong impression in my memory. Yes, we saw that people didn't know how to respond because the discussions was so deep and honest. Yes, please check out the VTR later if you are interested. So about what happened over the 4 days. What about you, Miyokawa-san? Yeah, I don't know. From Sega's booth was very impressive. Usually the stages from one time to one time and doing the broadcasting about that, but this time there were a lot of the stages are doing like a short-term shows of according to the time where visitors come. Like the director Hori-san was singing. There were a lot of unique performances this year. So because it's a short time, and people are very curious to watch it, and people will also feel the desire to share it. So I thought that's a kind of a new trend. From the general public view, usually people are told not to stand in the passages, in the paths. So people will ask you to move ahead, and then they cannot watch the long contents. But if it's a short, then people can watch it till the end. Yes, as well as Capcom, there's a 20-minute content. That used to be like 30 minutes or 1 hour, and then it has become very compact this year. So I think that's one of the characteristics for this year. Daniel, what do you think? Yes, I was doing like broadcasting from the venue, and yesterday's afternoon with Microsoft, we had a fun meetup with Xbox. And then the top of the Xbox, Phil Spencer, Salabora, they came, and the 60 core fans of Xbox also participated. So that was a live broadcasting, and we did some user interview and autograph events, and ran out of time because Phil-san and Salah-san, people wanted to have autographs and taking photos with them, and Phil, they're in a very higher position that they have a very hard stop usually, but they stayed like 1 hour more until they finish all the autographs and the photo taking. And with Phil and Sarah-san and with other editing members, we asked, can we take a picture with you? And they said, of course. So I was very happy. That's like such a hospitality, and they really value the fans from Japan. Yes, we would like to just see the broadcasting later, and also the party venue. And they also like do autographs at the venue, not just at the event. And a lot of people posted that. Yeah, I also want to be a personality that's loved by many people. All right, thank you for your comments. And a game show, when it comes to game show, of course, we cannot skip Japan Game Award. And let's briefly look back on that. Let's start with the games of the year. So Hayashi-san and Miyokawa-san, what's your thought? Yes, a lot of titles that represent that are symbolic of last year, and like a panorama site. This kind of title was selected. And I was personally very happy to see that, because it's not a major title, and it's a less known title. Maybe there are a lot of people who do not know that. So with the TGS, maybe this will be a chance for people to learn about this game. And I think that's what's significant about this game show. And Yui-san said that he said that my friend who recommended this game to me is correct. And for game fans, there's nothing happier to see their favorite games are selected with an award. Yes, and many people like EDF, and it's a great thing to be listed here. How much valuable it is has been shown here. And Miyokawa-san, what do you think? Panorama site, and Ishiyama-san's director was crying on the stage, and I was also feeling the desire to cry as I heard his comments. And the game designers award, Sakai-san, the creators chose that award, and then it chooses innovative games. And for the RPG time, this game is great because the creation time, it's the creators put a lot of efforts and the time into the creation of this game. And then in the note, it's an RPG world inside a note, and it was made by an elementary student boy. And there were many interesting elements packed in this RPG time game. And it's a very unique game. It's different from other games. And yes, I'm very impressed by that. There's Archive and the Game Design Award. Sakurai-san, the famous game creator, did a presentation with the footage of the game. So if you haven't watched that, please make sure to check it out. It will worth your time. And so that's the games of the year. And then let's look at other divisions. Amateur division. This is the amateur division. What's your thoughts about that? About the amateur, the theme was persistency, the focus on specific elements. The 3 seconds before New Year, that was the title that won it. So what kind of game it is that, you know, the moment you enter into the next year, the player that you are not supposed to land on the ground. If you land on the ground, then you lose. And also there are a lot of voiceover by the creators. So it's full of good taste. It also full of a sense of humor. It's fun to watch, fun to play. and the judges are professional creators, like including the one of the Monster Hunter. So I didn't play that game, but it made me feel that I really want to try that out. Yeah. Next one is under 18 division. So I was also one of the judges. So U18 division is under 18 division for high school students and below, and then some are like 8 years old or from junior high school, and every year it's getting higher quality. It's becoming higher quality, and they are titles that can be immediately made into a commercial product. Yes, I really want to meet those creators, and Fujita-san here and also applied for the award with another group of friends, and then he got elected his title. So they are so young, but they are already full of talents. They are so talented and gifted. It's their future is very promising. All right, this is the future division. Hayashi-san, would you start, please? So at the venue of this year's game show, these titles are attracting a lot of attention. And one thing is the Zenless Zone Zero by Hoyoverse, and this kind of a title is drawing a lot of attention, especially among the young generation, and it's also reflected in the voting, and that's why it's listed here. I think that's a great thing. The game show is it means that the game show is drawing attention from a wide range of generations and actresses. It means that actress is really strong. You know, metaphor, there's no title of metaphor, only footage, and the new RPG from Atlas. And also they have started a new challenge with the fantasy. It's drawing a lot of attention. And then also it has won an award. That's fantastic. Yuko-san, what do you think? Like Inazuma 11 Victory Road and the Dragon's Dogma 2 finally coming out, and the Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, that's a remake, and finally you can play fishing in the game. And then I think people know who know the game. We are really curious about the story. And I've been playing FF since I was at the school. Fortunately, I couldn't play that game at the venue because I was in charge of other games. I was just watching the video, and I really wanted to play it. So I'm just a fan. Yeah, of course, it's a very promising game. So Daniel, from an overseas point of view, yes, we were creating content for the Japanese audience, and we also did a lot of interviews. So it's like doing two things at the same time, and I felt that the Japanese creators are very strong, and IGN channels, the most popular content is the Dragon's Dogma 2 footage and the Capcom's TGS official live broadcasting. Those two are watched and played for many times, and of course in each program the Monster Hunter, I think people were very looking forward to the announcement for the new one, and that didn't happen. And there's a lot of expectation, and the FF7 Rebirth and this kind of game was also very popular. And games by Chinese creators are also growing, not only in IGN and also the Honke. And then this is Zone Zero and Where Winds Meet. Those two, both of them, are from China. And the Rusty Rabbit, immediately after the release, it was very well received and attracted a lot of attention and intrigued many people's interest. And the Reverse 1999, that's a mobile PC game. So there were a lot of powerful games from China from different genres. And IGN domestic users and overseas international users are both very much looking forward to those content. So to 79 booths, a lot of young people, very outstanding, but also there were many people in their 30s to 40s, and you can feel the energy if you've been to the venue. I think we will be on the same page. All right, we want to hear more, but we're running out of time. So let's summarize the TGS 2023. Can we have a brief comment from each one of you? Yes, sure. Last year's TGS, there was a general public view, but cosplay was not allowed. There were no children under age 18. But on the other hand, we could focus, and a lot of interesting games were there. And this year, it's a full-fledged event, and it was a very hustle and bustle, and then it was very fun to interview the event. And as the other two guests said, that the stage of each maker, I think the style has changed. That's also my impression. Not like the Chinese one and the Taipei game shows venues, the atmosphere. There's not only the gameplay, but they are trying to change they're trying to be more immersive, so the users can experience more and enjoy more. And I think I've seen quite a progress in the revolution. Then, looking forward to next year. I want to have a personal booth next year. I like to have that next year. Yeah, please join us again next year. So Myokawa-san, please. After COVID, during COVID, the TGS has done hybrid style, and I think the TGS is also changing, as in the VR and the live broadcasting of the stages. There are content that can be only experienced here, but there are also like just 30 more hours of broadcasting behind the scenes. So using TGS as a scene, I think many are aiming for something that's not restricted by locations, and the people who come here, they will post through SNS, so more people will know about it. Tokyo Game Show can be enjoyed even if you are not in Tokyo, and I think that we are actually progressing towards an ideal. So I think that's probably the only progress that the mankind made during the COVID period, and we also look forward to the next year's version through this TGS, the visitors and also people who enjoyed from home. I think everyone has found their favorite game, the game they are most curious about, the game they want to play. And then we want people to play the game they want to play and come back next year. And I hope that Makuhari Messe can be more spacious, but I don't know who to ask that for. Like in China, it's like 3 times bigger than Messe. And like using the whole floor for merchandise sales. Yeah, of course there is a physical constraints, but once the scale is bigger, we also have to think of measures to make the event more comfortable for the visitors. So in order to enjoy game fantasy more, yeah, that might be something really important. Okay, with that, this is Tokyo Game Show from Game Media. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's have a round of applause for our guests. 3 times and 4 times bigger. That's impressive. I really want to go and see, even if my legs will be dead. And maybe you can have some vehicles to go around the venue, or like a gaming bicycle or something. That sounds fun. And next section is this Sense of Wonder Night 2023. Sense of Wonder Night, the moment you see, the moment you hear the concept, you feel like you're enlightened, feeling something is going to change around you. So Sense of Wonder Night, sense of wonder to be triggered by game ideas. This is an event to discover that. And we had the record high 793 titles of application, and 81 titles were selected by the judge committee. And then the 8 titles creators did final presentation as finalists on September the 22nd, and the awards were selected. And the top prize, which is the Audience Award Grand Prix, went to Tiny Drive by Photograph. And today we invited Shunji Yamaura from Photograph that won the Audience Award Grand Prix. Thank you for coming. Could you introduce yourself? Yes. I'm the CTO of Photograph. My name is Shunji Yamaura. Thank you very much for having me. And congratulations for winning the Audience Award Grand Prix. What was your feeling when you know that you won the award? Yeah, there's nothing happier than that. And I haven't got this kind of achievement for a long time. Yes, I want to have some achievement like that every 3 years. All right, so Tiny Drive is a pseudo hologram drive game, I heard. Could you elaborate the details a little bit for us? Yes, so Photograph is an important technology that we developed. So the screen is the VR space, and from various angles you can see the VR world. That's the technology, and we use the table, the surface of the table as the projector screen. And in long time ago, we used to play in department stores the driving game. So this is the reproduction of that, and so it's a 3-dimensional, right? You are holding the wheels, you are behind the wheels. Yes, it will look like as if there is a car model there. Can you imagine that? The retro game from the analog time, I've played that before, and now it's available in the digital form. And a lot of people feel nostalgic about it, and people said they really wanted to try it for a long time. So Tiny Drive, and this technology is very versatile. Yes, so Photograph, it's an Unity asset, an asset for Unity, so you can download it and then you can install it into your games. Then I think that will lead to new experience. That sounds fascinating, and it might be everywhere. And you said that you were finally recognized the first time in 10 years. Then what was the struggle that you have gone through? Well, maybe I shouldn't say this here. So NDA, kind of NDA related or ethic related issues. And so I've been creating games that I shouldn't talk about here. And so I'm a VR developer, and I was expelled from the VR community for some time. And you were here, but you still got the award. And at some point, I was expelled. I was to the margin of the community. But as I worked hard and I was recognized for my ability, and this time I was able to come to this gorgeous stage, and I got a lot of praise. And I feel proud for myself, to be honest. And you're like a mad scientist who's going to ruin the world. Yeah, at some point I really wanted to revenge the world. I'm really happy that you have retrieved the good side of you, and it was really fun. Thank you. And you said that people can use that as an asset, as Unity. So is there any technology requirements, any technical requirements? Can anyone experience the game? Well, as much as possible, I want to present that as indie game, and I want people to try it. Because you need projectors and many other things, so it's still not very convenient to play at home. I want to I want to make it available on Steam, but maybe only 10 people can play it. Yes, you need an environment. So I hope the developers can come up with some ideas to lower the hurdle, and instead of projector, the glasses, the glasses that you wear in a theater, movie theater, and then maybe for the usual screen you can also do 3D at some point. Then you can use, if you have a live tracker, then you can turn a regular screen into a VR space. So I hope that people can start with that. So of course, it's an honor to win the award, and with winning the award, it's also an opportunity to have the technicians in the world to know the existence about that. Yes, as a developer, I'm very happy to see that happening. There are people who don't know it, and then people will not know the benefit of it if they do not try it. And people are not willing to try it, and people do not notice until they try. So I hope that more people will have an opportunity to try it out, triggered by this opportunity. Yeah, I think TGS serves as a platform to provide such opportunities and the triggers. And then there are people watching this program, and then I think there will be more and more new ways to play photograph. And can we have a message from you? So once you try it, then you will definitely be convinced by this technology. So first, I want to ask the developers to incorporate that into your games and try it out. And then I would try hard to appear in events. So if you see me, please try to play my game. That's the message to the player. Yeah, we hope to see more and more new games coming in the future. Thank you very much. Revenge, that's such a strong motivation. I'm glad that now he is recognized that there is some hope, some light now. Yes, it's something that you have to try to know about it. So in that sense, TGS, we see more devices in TGS, like glasses. Once you put it on, you want to have it, because instantly you will know it's super convenient. So I hope that you can try it offline. And let's move on to the last section, TGS 2023, from the point of view of the Secretariat. So overcoming various difficulties, and now we have the Tokyo Game Show 2023, and these are the representatives of the Secretariat who are in charge of the operation of all the events. And we also have Go Ishikawa-san from Dentsu and the Secretariat. Please introduce yourself. Thank you very much for having me. I'm Ishikawa from Tokyo Game Show Secretariat, and we want to hear a lot from the two of you, and mentioned by the media people as well. This is the full-fledged offline event at the venue, and I think there's a lot of effort put in. Yes, indeed. Last year, first time in 3 years, we were able to have a real event, and we received a lot of positive comments and feedback to have a real event. And from Hall 9 to Hall 11 were also open for this year, and the event halls is also available this year. So it's still the same name, Tokyo Game Show, but this year's event is entirely different from last year. Here I'm displaying some pictures of the venue, and I think the visitors have felt real time. And then there were also people who got a lot of information through SNS. We had a lot of visitors, and it was very excited. It was very exciting. The preparation was totally different from last year. And every year you change the way of doing, right? Especially over the past 3 to 4 years. Indeed, from my position, I joined in 2019 as this position. Up to 2019, it was a regular event, and in 2020, it was after the COVID started, and 2020, one was online, and we had some press and online an influencer coming in 2022, only a partial offline one, and this year it's a full package event. But we have also incorporated the good elements that we accumulated during the COVID time. So from 2019 to 2023, 5 iterations, and these are all different. Yes, so I'm doing Tokyo Game Show. It's not finished yet, but we are already looking forward to next year's Tokyo Game Show. And in terms of the new attempts, there is a main stage, which is for events to take place. What was the feedback on that? Yes, as you mentioned, at the main stage, not just games, but the peripherals and like fashion, music that have like good affinity with games. There are stages in collaboration with those elements, and just behind the scene of this program, there are CR Cup taking place. It's a huge stage. The customers who participate are enjoying that. That's what I felt. What used to be battles took place before, but in such a big venue, and then the venue was full. Yes, so depending on the stage, we did different content, and the exhibitors also did some presentation on strategies on the stage. It was utilized in various forms. So, in terms of the online initiatives, what do you think of that, Ishikawa-san? Yes, we also did the TGS VR, and for this year, we increased the number of devices, so it also supports the smartphones. And at iOS, there were some troubles, and the first 2 days, it was not functioning properly, but it was resumed on Saturday. So now it's also supporting iOS on smartphone. And then this is a real event for 4 days, and in addition to that, the beginning of October, the users have finally finished the real events, and the people are going to start enjoying the VR ones. So it will continue to be available till the beginning of October. So we hope that you will check it out. Yes, we want people to enjoy every corner of TGS, and this kind of official programs. There were various kinds of that. Tanabe-san, what do you think? Yes, as I mentioned, there were many elements added from our experience of COVID, and I think this online element is one of them. And at this time, we are doing live broadcasting online, and we are able to provide information who cannot come to the venue. In addition to that, we also have real events, real concerts, real performances. So there are many different ways of enjoying TGS. Not only that, and the most thing that people want to do who come to the game show is to play games. So there is also trial for Steam and others. There are many different combinations. So I think the scope of enjoying the event was being able to expand it, and I think that's what this year's Tokyo Game Show is. And we talked a little bit about the influencers coming to the venue. So what was your thought about that, Hanabe-san? Yes, so we purposefully, let's say we have invited an influencers to the venue this year. You know, the way of communicating information, the way of receiving information have changed substantially over the past few years. And then for people who cannot come to the venue, and people who get information from SNS, I think there are different ways of gathering information, and one of it is through SNS. YouTube or X, former Twitter. So there are people who want to enjoy Tokyo Game Show and gather information through these means. So I think that's very effective. And not only for the domestic market, the international influencers were also invited to this event to disseminate the information of Tokyo Game Show to the world. And of course, there are media covering the event, but the influencers cover the event in a different way. They're closer to the viewpoint of the users when they promote this game to disseminate the information. The influence is different than media. So I think that's where we are continue to focus on. The receiver of the information, the game fans. I think it's a good thing for people to learn about Tokyo Game Show in different forms. Yes, so there are various channels from media. You can have their official information, and then from the influencers, you can get more intimate information. And we also mentioned the family game park. What was your feedback on that? As Daniel mentioned, the family game park has been held for the first time since 2019, for the first time in 5 years. And not only the actual gameplay, there was also some job training, like programming session took place, like to have the children experience the fun of creating games. And that's why we incorporated such events. Creating game does not only equals to programming. Actually, there are many occupations related to game creation. And against that backdrop, we try to create events for the children to experience many elements. For example, creating a music or designing a character. We incorporated these elements in the job training, the job experience section. So we hope that when the kids enter the game industry in the future, we also want them to be interested being a developer, not just being players. So maybe we will try new things in next year. But this year we have prepared, so we would like to continue to expand those occasions for children. So the children come, it's looking at the future. It will lead to the future festivals, and then it's great to feel that real time. It makes a difference to come to the venue physically. And official goods from TGS. So Unai-san, you are also wearing those merchandise, right? Yes, I bought it before the time runs out. And I know that there was some live broadcasting. Did you wear the glasses, the sunglasses? Actually, sorry, I didn't have time to wear them. But I took a picture and posted it on SNS. And what about the goods? Right, there are many official goods available at Tokyo Game Show. We added new lineup, and we changed the goods producer so that we can have new viewpoints. And actually, we have something to apologize on this as well. And many items sold out so quickly. I think we had a slide. We don't have it. Okay, sorry. So many items sold one after another. And so many people, they waited for a long time, but couldn't buy the items that they wanted. So, of course, every year we have new designs. But as you can see on the slide, on the panel, you can see many items have the red sticker of sold out. So we feel truly sorry for people who have waited for a long time. And I was talking to the person in charge. We should increase the number of the products next year so that the visitors can fully enjoy the merchandise section. And it was mentioned many people purchased today, and there's a collaboration with the fashion brands as well. And as you can see, Ishikawa-san has this. It's also a collaboration. It's a hat. I also bought a Bomberman version of this. So yeah, I was saying that I can pay for you, but he said no, I want to buy it myself. So again, I want to apologize for causing the troubles, but next year we will try harder and we will provide new items. We hope that you will continue to enjoy TGS through the official goods as well. All right, thank you very much for looking back on TGS. So to summarize, can we have a brief comment from each one of you? Ishikawa-san, would you start, please? Yes, the theme of this TGS is when the game moves, the world changes. So the world in many forms is changing drastically, and we are doing new initiatives, and next year's theme will be released in a later stage, and we also want to evolve and grow, and we will keep taking on challenges. Next year we hope that we can deliver a fun Tokyo Game Show in a new form for everyone. Thank you very much. And Tanabe-san, please. The title of this program, every year it's a fun meetup, and then don't say it's after the festival. Actually, I got Unai-san contacted me. She said that she feels very sad that the event is coming to an end. And I know that the visitors also do not want this event to end. It's very sad to have this event end. And not only the games are evolving, but the game events are continuously evolving. Exhibitions, the way of exhibitions and the promotions and productions and the experience are changing. And then the exhibitors have put in a lot of efforts in innovative ideas to make the booth enjoyable. And through these efforts, this year's Tokyo Game Show 2023 is coming to an end, which is indeed very sad. However, it also nurtures the expectation towards next year, and also for the release of new games. And it is true that it's sad for an event to come to an end, but it also creates and seeds the expectation to enjoy the next iteration, to enjoy the future. And that's why we have decided on this title, Don't Say It's After the Festival. So we will strive to provide something that people can continue to enjoy next year. And I know that you understand the exhibitors really put in a lot of efforts this time to showcase the attractiveness of games and the new forms of game events. And I think that people are able to have a glimpse of that. So thank you very much for your support this year, and we'd like to have your continuous support next year. Yes, we have high expectation for next year. Thank you very much. All right, with that, TGS fun meetup, Don't Say It's After the Festival, it's coming to an end. And in the event hall, there are still events taking place, but all the programs are going to come to an end very soon in a few hours. So again, let's have a summary from our official supporter, Unai-san. Now we can do various things online. It's very convenient now, but there are still things that we can only experience physically, and then that will stick with us for the rest of life. And I think that's what I felt in this year's TGS at the Makahari Messe. And I know that people living in different areas, some are very far, but for the game lovers, please come to Makuhari Essay to enjoy, to experience the game show once in a lifetime, because just being with all the fans in the same space, that gives you a sense of happiness. And I'm very happy to be able to involved with this event in this kind of form. So I hope that you really enjoyed the real event this time, and thank you very much for having me. Indeed, once in a lifetime, we truly want people to come here. It might be hard to come every year, but it's always taking place around September. Like, keep that in mind, and we hope to see you next year if you haven't been able to come yet. So we hope to see you again in next year's Tokyo Game Show. So thank you very much, and thank you for your hard work.